So alternatives to the hormonal contraceptives. So the diaphragm, I know, it's not great.
I don't think I know anybody who's ever done the diaphragm, but there we go.
The non-hormonal coil, so the old-fashioned copper coil, which actually only because people go on quite worried about the copper. There's such a tiny amount in it, and actually, there's quite a lot of research that shows we don't have enough copper. So it's quite an interesting one. But ultimately, I still think that we can do work on heavy metal toxicity a damn sight easier than we can do work on dealing with those that not having progesterone. That is so important for women. So the copper coil, which these days, because the technology of it has been changed, it used to be that you had to have been pregnant, even if it was a miscarried or terminated pregnancy. But these days you don't need to have had a pregnancy because of the new technology. The fertility awareness based method, is that like the withdrawal method? Do you like the fact that I have no clue because I've been dealing with menopause for 8 years? I don't. What are the hip kids calling it these days?
This is where you need quite a lot of self-responsibility, because you're mapping your periods, your temperature using apps.
So yes. Is that the app ones, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's that. It's called that. Great.
No, it's not withdrawal method.
Is that withdrawal method? That's what the hip kids are calling it. I now know that. See, every day is a school day. I've learned something tonight. The cap, is that different to the diaphragm? No idea. See the person who's been dealing with menopause. I don't know. Maybe Laura should have talked you through this slide. Condoms, I know those. I remember those. I remember them from the noughties. That's fantastic. And the hormone-free Fexi gel. Yeah, that's cool. I've heard about that. That is cool. So yeah, there is. And of course,
it's not available in the UK at the moment, but what's interesting is that how it's hormone free is that it is changing the pH balance of the vagina to make it inhospitable for sperm. But from what I've seen, it's incredibly expensive.
Yes, and if it's going to change your pH, it's likely to lead to bacterial vaginosis, which isn't going to be great. And let's just remember, shall we, without having a feminist rant, that they did devise the male pill in 2000 and had amazing clinical trials with it, but nobody wanted to take it up. So here we go again. I know there is still very much a gender bias around contraceptives. So they are our alternatives. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of app-based things like that, and there's that Daisy, and there is stuff. So I do recommend people go out there and check it out.
It is a challenging conversation to have in the clinic, because we are saying that this is what is happening in the body when we are taking contraceptives, and often we get the question, well, what is the alternative? And we go, well, we recommend
it's not great.
It's not great. It could be better. Must try harder.
Yeah, let's go back.
So it is a real challenge.